I have decided to start talking about Bible verses because, well, not just Bible verses, I will talk about whatever religious topic anybody wants to talk about if they, if I feel like it's worth talking about. I don't just like to talk for the sake of talking. If you have some sincere doubts or issues with the Bible or other religions, I feel like I'm pretty knowledgeable to where I can be of some benefit. The reason why I started making, the reason why I made this decision recently is because I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube which are very misleading and unproductive and damaging, in my opinion. For some reason, even though we live in a world where there is deceit, misinformation, and just overall lies, even though we live in a world where so many leaders have proven themselves to be either deceptive or just overall unknowing, we feel for some reason like it's okay to shut off our critical thinking if someone says they are God or they are a God or they are uh, working for God or doing God's work. Now we shut off our critical thinking for some reason, even though we know that human beings have issues. We shut off our critical thinking. I don't get it. So I've got a pretty good background in reading the Bible. I don't call myself a Christian. I just call myself a seeker of truth. I don't really call myself that. I just believe I'm overall a seeker of truth, and if something makes sense to me, I feel like it should be adopted. And when it stops making sense, or when it seems like it's not beneficial anymore, I feel like it should be disregarded. And that's probably the foundation of my belief system that I wish more people would adopt. If something sounds and seems and feels like it is overall right for you, then maybe you should do it in the moment. I mean, maybe you should do it. If somebody says you shouldn't do that for whatever reason, listen to them, gauge their points, and do what you feel is right. That's really all anybody can do. So many people have been misled by somebody saying they were God or they were doing God's work or this is what God's word said, do, and they did it and they regretted it or a negative result occurred. Yet people refuse to critically think. So the only people I really want to attract, which I will most likely, the only people I really want to attract are people who are willing to really think and debate and argue their points if they disagree with me. I encourage disagreement if you feel like you disagree. Because if you're if you're right and I'm wrong, I improve and you did a good deed. And vice versa. If you're wrong and I'm right, you've improved and I did a good deed. Maybe I improved by doing the good deed. No, I did improve by doing that good deed. So this is like the core of my belief system. I overall believe in the principles of the Bible, or many principles of the Bible, but I feel like there is so much confusion out here. There is so much deception, and there is so much suffering being caused by people who say they are God, or they are doing God's work, yet they say things which are, in my mind, impractical, or I overall don't agree with them, and their followers don't say anything, or people who are listening don't seem to want to say anything. So I feel like that's what I need to do, because for me, interpreting most of the Bible is easy. Is me interpreting most of the Bible is very easy. The only part of the Bible I have issues with is Revelations, some of Revelations. So, um, anyway, I don't care what religion you're about. If you want to ask me anything, I will do my best to answer. If I don't have the answer, I'm not gonna tell you anything I believe is false. I'll do my best to make whatever communication we have beneficial. So I just wanted to say this. I will most likely start posting something related to the Bible for now on, so that people pick up on my pattern of logic and how I explain things and how I believe we should be critically thinking. So, in a world that is known to have deception in it, you shouldn't throw away or turn off your critical thinking. You wouldn't go to a car dealership and believe everything the salesman tells you. You wouldn't go to a cell phone store or any store or any business and believe what the salesperson is telling you just because uh, they they're saying something that sounds good. At least I would hope not. I mean, you wouldn't admit this. I don't think you would admit that to anybody. But anyway, I I actually made a video. I believe I deleted it. Maybe well, it's like 30 minutes long related to this. It's like my second making of this, my second attempt on this video. I wanted to make it shorter, but it seems like there are certain things you really can't make short. So I think I may have learned a lesson today. There's certain things you really just can't make short. So biggest thing I'll leave you with is the same critical thinking you use when you go out and make serious decisions. Use that critical thinking as it relates to your religion. Use that same religious thinking as it relates to the religious books. The same the same types of people that are around now were around then. Meaning, there's going to be errors. There's going to be deceptions, as well as truth.